Every time you hear someone tell you they're getting old, they're brainwashing you. Lee Weiland, Pacific Rim Athletics, Powerbatics, and welcome to training. I remember breakdancers in their 20s, yes, their 20s, saying, oh, they're too old, this is a young man's game. What the heck? Here's crumbs at 44 for funk's sake. I'm going to show you why you feel old and wore out, plus the ways to fix it for life. Health and happiness, plus insane levels of bodyweight skill like you're seeing from our students of all ages. From children to kids in their 60s. We'll journey into the mind and then start building incredible flexibility, mobility, sustainability, and feats of strength so that you're that uncle, that poppy, that abuelito. How many times you heard that expression though? Too old. Family members, friends, work associates, TV shows, movies, culture. Let me ask you something. How do you learn a new language best and fastest and so it sticks with you for life? A book? Or full immersion into a foreign country? Of course it's full immersion, same for learning anything, including behaviors, thoughts, and feelings, including feeling like you're worn out or too old. It's an illusion. Pause. I actually literally just paused working on this video and had an hour-long conversation with, ironically enough, someone whom you'd call an old person in the coffee shop in which I was working. He had a very thick accent. I asked where his accent was from. From beyond space and time, he said, through bright eyes deep within his aged skin and mustachioed grin. He then went on to explain how everyone is controlled, manipulated, and brainwashed from childhood into their beliefs about cultural groups, race, religion, and yes, even age. How fantastically ironic indeed. We then teleported into a journey through the age and shape of our realm, the metaphysical nature of humanity, and working on the North Slope of Alaska, from ice plain bandits to polar bears. Which brings me back to Alaska and to working on this video, in which I told our friend I'd include this tale. So if age is an illusion, how do you fix it? It's actually quite simple and involves two steps. First, act like a racehorse. There's something that a racehorse wears. Trainers will put special goggles on their horse. These goggles aren't like normal goggles with transparent material like glass or plexiglass on the front. They're completely open air and cause no loss of visibility. But there's material on the sides that completely prevent any peripheral vision. Put your hands up next to your face so that you can only see in front of you and completely block your peripheral vision. This is similar to a horse wearing blinders, as they're called. Now, the technique isn't literally walking around with your hands on the sides of your face, but it's the mental practice. You put the blinders on to the remarks, the complaints, the negative Nelsons and Nancys trying to distract you like other horses on the track, the loud crowds in the stands all yelling about their aches, pains, and age, the work environment, even the 12 years in the public school chairs. You simply allow all that stuff to be there. Say, speak for yourself, and then better, say nothing at all. You mentally focus on the yellow brick road that you yourself are on, only on what is true, just, pure, lovely, good reports, virtuous, and praiseworthy. Philippians 4:8. But that'll only take you so far. You have to immerse yourself in the opposite. Ever heard a commercial that gets caught in your brain? An ad you can sing without thinking, but you can't remember somebody's birthday or the 10 Commandments from the Bible or an important phone number. On the one hand, you've probably been served millions of impressions of that ad, which are designed to stick. On the other hand, people inadvertently wear the blinders in the immersive context in which they should be fully engaged. Social media is supremely damaging because it reinforces this, minute by minute, every waking moment. So not only do you have to immerse yourself in the opposite, but you have to fully engage it. Learning a language isn't going to happen by accident. Even a toddler has to try. And relearning your youth won't happen by accident. You have to rebuild it. But it happens by immersing yourself in the opposite, like bodyweight strength and skill. So you hear 99% of the population complain about aches, pains, their job, and their age. You have to then immerse yourself with people that do not do that. And you have to begin thinking the opposite and surrounding yourself with the opposite. You literally rewire your brain and body this way. And this is the only way to do it. Period. End of first half of video. Now the physical. You see, I could show you all the flexibility, mobility, and strength till Jesus comes back, but it'll be useless futility until you change your mind and people group. But hey, let's dive in. It'll involve 3 things. Flexibility is first. Youth is characterized by flexibility. And ironically, as I work on this video, my 1.5-year-old son just broke his arm yesterday trying to keep up with his older siblings. You know how it goes. But only a cast and a 3-week healing time, because he's flexible, even his bones. Now, we don't get that luxury to the same degree necessarily, but I warn you, do not believe the naysayers who will immediately bring up collagen, tendon fibers, bone density, DNA, and all this overthinking nonsense. Your thoughts, every single one of them, should be the exact opposite, and your body will adapt to the driving force of your mind. I'm talking to myself here too. Every single word. It's precisely how I continue doing what I do. It need not be obsessive or out of fear, but just simple and positive. So rebuilding flexibility. Your joints and muscles require this. The more flexible you are, the more your body is able to move. And what does this do? Well, more fluidity through your entire being. Toxins eliminated, perhaps even the stored up mental toxicity. Blood circulation improved, and to your brain, which reinforces the mental practice I just spoke about. But you cannot ignore the immaterial component. So you sit there doing splits for 1 minute, building up to 5 minutes, eventually 10 minutes. Splits all directions, W-sit, lotus, wrist flexibility, shoulder flexibility, even neck and toe flexibility. Progression step by step, like removing a bonsai tree from the side of a mountain and placing it in a pot, little by little, redirecting its growth, watering, providing the flexibility necessary for strength. This is the 10% physical on top of the 90% of the mental. The strength component likewise cannot be ignored. I don't mean big muscles, that's what big fitness sells you. Plus everything else sold to you under the radar of your mind, from big education, big pharma, big food, big media, even Big Brother. Our friend from the coffee shop said none of that matters. Only your decisions, your inner voice. I'll add revelation from divine providence, but again, different video. Back to strength. My advice to you is stacking on strength, not muscle, but strength. Think of muscles same as you should about money. The less you think about it and the more you simply enjoy working on what you love, the more you build. Becoming a slave to the gym is unsustainable. Muscle, especially sustainable, lifelong muscle, rather the byproduct of working toward body mastery, as I call it. This involves 3 components: the strength positions, the movements, and the skills. An example strength position is a human flag. You ever see the grandpa doing the human flag? That's what you want to be. That's a position, and it's play, it's fun. The movements are like muscle ups, the back walkovers, the strengthful, coordinated moves that keep you agile, nimble, powerful. The skills are the more powerful movements like backflips. Heck, even just the simple Valdez that anyone can try. Squat, to table, to reach, to elevate over. Training this way is literally as simple as the mental method. Here's the outline. Your thoughts, which are actions themselves, should both be positive. In terms of physical training, it should be directed towards the movement you'd like to attain. Your non-thoughts or non-actions, the negatives you choose to eliminate. Physically, this would be like ditching the dumbbells and going after a muscle up or a back walkover. And then your community, not the naysayers, but the pro-sayers, the ninjas, the twisted steel-clad samurai doing what you see right now. Fast and push and quick and stand. Yeah, that's it. So let's turn this into an example training session so you can see what's going on. Flexibility will actually go last. Light warm up first, then strength. Let's combine muscle up work with back walkover practice. Then Valdez training, and finish with flexibility for 1, 5, or 10-minute holds on weakest links. And that immersed in a community of sustainable superheroes thinking, talking, and acting the same. It won't always be perfect, life isn't, but this is our path forward. See you in the next video and in training.